going on? It is Ash here coming at you today in Clash Royale, and as we talked about with Juicy J last week, we have another new series here on the channel. Miniminter, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's up, man? I'm doing good. I'm happy to take part of this new series and bring more content to you guys.
I am very, very excited for this one because we're going to be going like inside the match here on this series. We're going to be breaking down either top ladder content, either a match like a highly competitive match that you were in, high pressure situation, where we can kind of get inside your head, or like today's video, we're going to talk about one of your favorite players in the world, what makes them so good, and kind of really dissecting and breaking down matches, providing my viewers too with feedback and tips and strategy that they can use to apply to their own gameplay inside the game. So, with all that said, did I miss anything? Is that what we're doing, Minnie?
That's pretty much what we're doing, yeah.
All right, dude. So, talk a little bit, set the table here for us. We have Dig versus Tribe. We got Jupiter King versus Lindsay. We're going to be going over this matchup today. Talk a little bit about both of these players.
So, basically, both of these teams are undefeated going into this game, which is, I'm pretty sure, is the third or fourth round of CRL. Right now they're in this 1v1 set, which is the second set of the 3-set CRL format. Tribe swept the 2v2 2-0, and now Jupiter King is up against Lindsay. Lindsay, obviously formidable Argentinian player. Has been consistent, and you guys have seen him in the past CRL. I think it was with Cream, where he had a really good showing, and he's just like shown to be like pretty top player, one of the best, if not the best, Argentinian players in the game. And then we have Jupiter King, man. This guy is just...
He's your boy, right? You love Jupiter King.
Man, he's amazing.
How good is Jupiter King?
Bro, Jupiter King is better than Surgical Goblin at his prime. Saying it right now.
Okay, all right. So does that say, okay, better than Surgical Goblin at his prime, so you're saying that he is, because, wow, wait a second here, man. You're a big Jupiter King fan. Why is Jupiter King so good? He's the best player in the game then.
He is, and there's just something when you're watching him, he doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't make any micro mistakes. He doesn't make any macro mistakes. Everything he does is so like well planned out and thought of before it even happens. Like he knows what's gonna happen 5 thinks ago. So whatever you think you're gonna do, he already thought about it, and you're just not gonna be successful.
Okay, that's interesting because when I asked Eric why, when I had him on a few weeks ago, I asked him why he thought Igor was the best player in the world, and he said the same answer. Like he's playing that chess match like 5-6 moves ahead of the opponent. So why do you think that Jupiter King's better than Igor? Just out of curiosity.
Igor, I would definitely put him on a top 10 list because, well, like Eric has said on your video with him about Igor's insane. He's one of the best cycle players in the game. Jupiter, I know for a fact that he started with cycle because when I played the season that I got top 6, he was playing a minor cycle deck with the bomb tower back when Magic Archer Valkanado was a thing. So
Yep.
he's definitely like heavy on the cycle. And when I've seen Eric talk about it, that cycle players are the best in the game because cycle players, they don't plan out like beatdown. Like in beatdown decks, if you're like a beatdown player, you're gonna memorize interactions and okay, he dropped this, I need to do this and this. And that's like all you do. But with micro and like cycle players, you need to know the micro, you need to know the placements, timings, and everything. And then they just expand on that. Like Jupiter, he's not going to always be playing like that quick 2.6, 2.8 minor cycle deck. He's going to expand now. And I've seen him play Royal Hogs. And that's just like the foundation of one of the best players. And right now Jupiter player, the best player in the world, in my opinion.
All right, man. Well, I'm excited to watch him now. I actually did not catch this match live, so this is the first time I'll be watching it. So why don't you go ahead? Let's press play in a few seconds here, but why don't you just tell me if at any point, any kind of crucial, pivotal moments in any of these matches that you want to point out something, just let me know and we'll pause, okay?
All right.
All right, press play in 3, 2, 1, go. So Jupiter King at the bottom of your screen, on the left of your screen, obviously, in terms of his player profile, and Lindsay on the right. Both players kind of trading off spells early on.
Yeah, both cycle small spells too. You see Jupiter right off with the minor as its comfort cycle. And you guys are going to see, as this gameplay progresses on, a very strange non-meta deck from Lindsay, which in my opinion is a complete like snipe and counter deck that Dignitas developed practicing throughout the week, analyzing Jupiter's deck pool and so forth. But we'll see how Jupiter deals with it with a very cycle deck here.
Okay.
And here we have both players just feeling them out. Lindsay calmly dropping Musketeer in the back. Jupiter gets poisoned. And you can see, like, from now that he's got an advantage, which is what a cycle deck should have early on. And now Lindsay's just waiting for him because he's got a heavier deck. And look, he's got Barbell, Zap, and he's gonna drop some more surprises soon. So I don't want to like spoil it, but when we get to it, we'll point it out.
Okay. So here, if in
Jupiter playing a traditional minor cycle.
yeah, if you're Jupiter King here, are you just like he's just picking and choosing his spots and trying to chip away at the tower? He's doing a great job so far. Pretty basic though.
Yeah, he's cycling his minor and his support cards. Obviously waiting to see what Lindsay has in hand because right now I don't think he has a clue. Because look, he's got Prince, Musketeer, Bats, and triple spell so far. Like he could have a giant. He could have a lot of things. So Jupiter's just waiting to feel him out and not go too aggressive to the point where he makes a mistake and gets punished for it.
Okay.
Which is what I like about him. He just plays so calm and doesn't rush things. Here we see an aggressive Mega Knight from Lindsay at the bridge because he sees his Prince out of hand. He deals with it. And here Jupiter's going to drop the Inferno. And what's it called? Lindsay doesn't have the Zap and Cycle. He drops really good bats there to distract the Inferno away from the Prince. But the Prince is going to get slowed down by the Ice Column and end up being taken out. So now we see that Lindsay has developed like his 3 main cards, like the Mega Knight, Musketeer, and Prince, and we know that Jupiter is just traditional minor cycle.
And then the Ram Rider comes out.
Here he drops the Ram Rider. So now we see what this is. I don't like what Lindsay did here. He just wasted a Ram Rider into a Prince essentially, and this just gives Jupiter counter potential. Like you see here, look at this minor placement. It's gonna wait. No, he didn't drop a minor. My bad.
It's okay.
Not this one.
I was like, where's the minor? All right, but the Prince comes. Okay, so. But all these pushes look so difficult to deal with. But he's getting good value here out of his Ice Golem a couple times, Inferno Tower as well.
Like he doesn't have like the best cards to deal with everything. Like he doesn't have a P.E.K.K.A. He doesn't have a giant. Here he gets some more chip with the minor, whatever he can get. But he doesn't like does have the Inferno Tower, but Lindsay has a poison to chip away the health and the Zap. So all he needs is like a Ram Runner connection. Yeah. And look at these bats by Lindsay. This was very well played. He distracts the Inferno enough for it to get taken down. And now Jupiter's in a bit of a pinch here. Look at his log. He zaps away the Spear Goblins. Okay, can we pause right here?
Yeah, let's pause. Wow, that was crazy defense there too.
All
right, so break it down.
Exactly. All right, so let's just rewind a little bit.
Yeah, let's rewind. I'll meet you at like 155-ish. Okay, want me to press play?
Yeah, you can press play.
Okay.
All right. So we have Lindsay. He built his big push. He did a well blocking with the bats, and then he just spammed them at the bridge and zapped away his Spear Goblins, which are a distraction troop now that the Inferno Tower is down. And he just rushed him so much. And you saw like here right now after the interaction, Lindsay gets three Prince hits on the tower, and he's up so much elixir. So Jupiter is in a really bad position here. But the way that he defended that Prince and that Musketeer with the minor on the Musketeer to take it out, and then to tank a little bit of the Prince with the Ice Column, that was really insane. And look, did you see that heads up play from Jupiter with the Spear Goblins to predict the bats? Because they happened beforehand. Lindsay got him good, but he's like, nah, not again, man.
Yeah,
and now
so
he defends the push a lot more comfortably.
Yeah, and that's such a huge difference maker. Now he's really keen on knowing that Lindsay is going to be dropping those bats every time. So now he's just getting more chip value with the minor. I mean, all of his damage has come from minor chip and poison. Like this is a minor chip deck, but it's been small amounts. Yeah, I think you're a couple of seconds ahead of us too, just FYI. So poison just came down for us. But either way.
All right, I'm at 45, 44.
Yep. Yeah, close enough. Yep. So now we're being more aggressive here.
Yeah, Jupiter's in triple elixir. He's got such a cheap deck that he can afford to throw naked miners, throw some good poisons log. His logs, as you can see, they're always going to be getting tower damage whenever he can. And here, I dislike what Lindsay did because he just wasted a whole Mega Knight, dropping the other Mega Knight behind it. Like the other one just got eaten up alive by the Inferno, and now Jupiter's cycled back to another one and just makes for a comfortable defense. Here, in the final 15 seconds, the final stretch, Lindsay is desperately trying to get through. But Jupiter's defense is so solid and just so well planned out and executed that he just can't do anything.
Yeah.
One of the things with Ram Rider, me being an experienced 2v2 player and 1v1, Ram Rider I really dislike a lot playing because if the opponent has the right tools to deal with, it's going to be, I think it's the hardest troop to get past like buildings and everything because it just can be so easily distracted and it's not exactly.
Oh, you don't like the Ram Rider?
No, I don't.
Do you know another YouTuber, Night Owl, thinks that Ram Rider is OP and needs a nerf?
is OP. I mean, I would disagree with that. Like,
I'm
it's
just joking.
not
I'm just joking. I mean, I'm not joking. He
in the
hates it,
meta.
but it's just kind of a running joke. But yeah, I agree with you, but I do find that Ram Rider can be difficult for lesser skilled players, such as myself, to defend against in some situations, right? Like I think that more pros prefer Battle Ram, with what I see in a vacuum, and I think that like more non-pros, I think they can get a value out of the Ram Rider. Would you agree with that or disagree?
Um,
Or
like
does
I
it
always say,
depend?
it depends on the deck.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like in this deck, I don't see a battle ram working either because then he just wouldn't be able to kill the troops.
Sure.
But maybe I would have preferred a miner because he's got triple spell, so he definitely would have been able to get damage. And if you look at Jupiter's cards, if he had a miner to kill to just like get chip damage while the tower's focused on the Mega Knight or the Prince, that I'm pretty sure that would have gotten a lot more damage. But we have to keep in mind that he did get that one big beefy push with like the rammer that connected on. Well, not it didn't connect on the tower, but it helped the Prince get on the tower.
Yeah.
So it's different interactions, and
Yeah.
I would
Now,
prefer the miner, but he went with the Ram Rider.
now do you we'll get to the next match in just a second here, guys, but I wanted to ask you during this match here, are there certain cards that he's purposely keeping in hand? Obviously, the Ice Golem seems to be one of them. But in terms of like, is it just as important what cards he's not playing as which cards he is? Again, getting back to that chess match kind of example of him being a few moves ahead of the opponent. If so, what are some examples of that?
We always saw that Jupiter attacked when Lindsay's Prince was like wasted. So he
Okay.
cycled his own Prince in the back whenever Lindsay cycled his to take it out, and then he proceeded to go Miner Bastard, Miner Spear Goblins, Miner Log, and that's just how he started chipping away. For the Ram Rider and the Mega Knight, he always had his Inferno Tower. He made sure of that. And when he got to Triple Elixir, he made sure to cycle back to another one before Lindsay could overwhelm him.
So part of the reason that he was playing all of those, and hey, Rich and Andrew, part of the reason that he was playing all of those miners so consistently every single time isn't just because of the offense. It was also because he wanted to get back to those crucial defensive cards when he needed them.
Exactly. And like I mentioned, he liked getting the chip damage for the log, but he obviously didn't want to waste it completely just to get like 83 damage on the tower because he knows that he doesn't want to sacrifice just 83 and eat 500. He played his logs perfectly throughout the whole game, resetting the charge so it didn't charge against his own Prince. And
here we go into the next one. Perfect timing. All right,
Perfect
so
timing.
set this one up for us. Obviously, we just saw that last victory. What decks is Jupiter King playing here?
Jupiter in this one is playing the 2 seasons ago the Magic Archer Royal Hogs deck, and then with the incorporation of Heal Spirit, it got like transitioned because I believe it had like Heal Spirit. I mean Ice Spirit before. So this is like a modification after Heal Spirit got introduced into the game.
What should we be looking out for in this one? Like, what's give us a heads up on what's to come here. Like to pay attention to his gameplay. Yeah.
So we can see that what's it called? Lindsay repeated his deck because analysis from Dignitas, they feel confident that it goes really well against his entire deck pool. Jupiter's King is going to rely heavily on the Mini Pega and the Hunter because those, like, it's such a problem to get past those 2 cards because you're going to need them out of cycle mostly because every time Jupiter can either block with an Ice Golem or he can like sacrifice a like Prince charge or a Bandit charge or whatever the case may be, like he's going to focus on protecting those cards. And you can see here he's protecting his Magic Archer and just bothering Lindsay already at the start of the matchup and making him waste more than he would have wanted to defending.
Yeah, and like you said, like I don't know if I agree with the Surgical in this crime. Surge was really good, but a lot of that too was that I'll say one thing is that Jupiter King. I've obviously watched way more than these matches, right? But Jupiter King is just like he's not as flashy as Surge. Does that make sense to you? Like he's just like, or maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Let me know. But to me, he seems like technically sound, like you said, no mistakes, but he's not like gonna kill you with 2.3 log bait, Or do you agree with that or disagree?
I mean, I've seen Jupiter play some pretty insane decks in a pretty insane way. And I'll just say this.
Yeah.
The best analogy that I can think of right now, let's just look at Fortnite for 1 second. Okay. At the start of the game, everybody was just shooting, whatever. And then right now, we have everybody building crazy, and the game's no fun. Like, everybody's good at the game now, and you just can't play it.
Yeah, I can't win a Grand Challenge anymore, Mini.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Back when Surge played, I'm not saying that everybody was trash, but there was a lot less competition at his level. right now, Jupiter, like 4 years, like deep into
I'm
the
gonna
game.
pause. I'm gonna pause the
All right.
replay here. Okay, finish your thought on Jupiter. My bad for getting off track here. I want to pay attention to the match though too. So go ahead.
All right. So Jupiter right now has so much more competition than Surge did back then. Back then, Surge's only like person who kept at his feet was Azilius. Now in the French scene, we've seen Azilius, we've seen Lupanju, we've seen players like Islaw, Paul, a lot of other big names, and everywhere you look now, there's a formidable player. Back then, there was only like one standout who was in like NA, who was like CMQ. You had like the handful of good EU players, which was Soaking, and Serge. You had the Latin like mix of Adrian and Pompeo. Now there's all of that talent everywhere. So Jupiter has so much more competition, but he just keeps up with it with so much like he's just a chess master.
Okay, let's resume the match. We'll talk a little bit more about this. Let's press play in 3, 2, 1, go. All right, so bring us back to this match here. What have we seen? Obviously, he's been doing a very good job of keeping that mini P.E.K.K.A, like you said, and or Hunter if when needed.
And he sees that Lindsay has Magnite, so he doesn't have any structure, so there's nothing to pull those Royal Hogs together. So it would be a big mistake for Jupiter, which he's obviously not going to make because he's Jupiter, to clutch up all those Royal Hogs together without like an opposite push to like require response. So we're always going to see him splitting the Hogs in the middle, 2 and 2, supporting one side with like Bats, the other one with like Heal Spirit and like whatever maybe of like the remaining health of a Magic Archer. And here we're going to see the Prince come down on the Hunter. You see how he always protects with an Ice Golem, preserves the health of the Hunter. And now he's got a counter push. Look, he's going to fireball that Musk. Look, watch this interaction right here. He defends the Rammer with Mini P.E.K.K.A, and look at that Ice Golem block to protect that Magic Archer. That's exactly what's going to bother him. He needs to waste something over there. He wastes a Mega Knight over there. Royal Hogs are free on the other lane. And look at that. Look at all that damage just by protecting his Magic Archer and forcing a response out of Lindsay. He played Lindsay like a fiddle, and Lindsay is one of the best South American players in the game. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, and he's doing... Here, yeah, go ahead.
We see Lindsay getting some damage, putting Jupiter in a pinch. We see him up a lot of elixir now because he had to defend over there, and now he's gonna try. He's in desperation mode right now because he's taking a lot of damage, a lot more than we would have liked to see, and now he's going all in. Really good bar barrel there from Lindsay to take out that Heal Spirit and kill that Mini P.E.K.K.A. Hunter here is gonna go down via the Ram Rider and the Mega Knight. He's getting damage now. The Mini P.E.K.K.A is gonna go down. He's really putting Jupiter in a pinch with all this constant pressure.
Yeah.
But he manages to defend just by cycling back to the Mini P.E.K.K.A, which is like what you have to do with this deck is just cycle, and repeat.
Man, and this deck shows how powerful like Mini P.E.K.K.A still and Hunter are. And still the relentless bridge.
The synergy with this deck is just so good.
Yeah.
And Lindsay he has nothing else to do.
Yeah.
He's just got to keep on going at it, but Jupiter's just going to end up taking it. I think that tower is
break through.
It's going to be at 7, but he wins by damage. Comfortable. His towers weren't low. Both games, comfortable victory. First tower, he took the game in like the last 10 seconds, and now 7 HP compared to like the 1500. So, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, so now let's go ahead and like package these two matches together in a way that my viewers can take away some tips from this video. So what can we learn from Jupiter King as a casual or a player who's trying to become competitive in this game? So like what are the biggest tips that I can actually go into the arena and apply from his game to mine?
So if you look at Jupiter King, what you can try to pick up from him as an aspiring like you're trying to better yourself at the game, you need to look at what cards he uses, how he always keeps the cycle in mind and like has his defense ready for the counter push or his offense. He's never going too hyper aggressive and like only defending with like 2 elixir spear goblins, like 7 elixirs worth. He always have the adequate elixir to defend with, but he makes sure to get the most out of his bunch. And I've heard this before, when you play minor cycle, you always want to get the best like value out of your bats and your spear goblins, always like tanking it, whether it be an ice golem or a minor.
He uses a lot of heal spirit
and just forcing
too.
a response.
Yeah.
He did. And every time he used it, it was perfect. There was one time that Lindsay, like I mentioned, got that really good bar barrel.
Yeah.
And that's what led to him connecting to the tower. But every other time, like you saw, he protected that magic. That was a crucial pivotal point of the game where he protected that magic archer from that musketeer. Look at this like squad of like 4 victors. Oh my god. But
Yeah. Yeah, so definitely, I agree with you in terms of what I picked up there is, like you said, how he used his cycle cards and how he was kind of thinking. Like, I guess my final question to you on that regard, especially is like cycling and making sure you have the right cards in hand and stuff. Like, what is a player like Jupiter King? What are they thinking about during the match? Like, obviously they're hovering cards, like getting ready, because he had fast fireballs there every time he needed one, or a very, very fast like heal spirit. So I'm sure he's hovering cards and protecting what he already has on the board, so to speak. But what, in addition to that, is he thinking about, like, as the match is going on? I mean, it's easy to say, oh, they're 3 or 4 steps ahead of their opponent, but how do you do that? How do you train yourself, like, cognitively to do that?
So what Jupiter picked up from that early game, like I mentioned, is that Mega Knight is Lindsay's best response to his Royal Hogs. And in that sequence, he saw the opportunity to create a lot of pressure with the mini P.E.K.K.A, Ice Golem, and he also had a Magic Archer on that left lane. That needed a response. Whether it was the Prince, that would have put him at a low elixir, and he wouldn't have had enough for the Mega Knight, or he would have wasted the Mega Knight and just had none elixir, which was what ended up happening. So he knew that that was how he had to win the game. Or I'm also sure that he had a Magic Archer chip in mind, because you don't need to get to the tower, essentially. You just need a chip. And he also had like the right cards to like block. Like he could have held back a Musketeer with a Ice Golem and gotten chip with a Magic Archer. So he definitely had that going. You guys need to plan out your strategy on how to win depending on the matchup, because obviously the same strategy is not going to work with everything. Like,
So,
let's say you guys are used to just building your big push with mini P.E.K.K.A and Hogs and then just taking tower. That's not going to work against the Mega Knight, so we needed to adapt.
okay, yeah, that makes sense. So how do you get better at planning out your how you're going to win, essentially? Like, should I write down, like, when I pick up a deck for the first time, like what my game plan is going to be? Or how do you get better at that? Like, how does someone who's not a pro get better at identifying, exactly what the strategy is going to be for every single matchup?
I mean, if you're not a pro and you don't exactly like have anybody to like practice with or whatever, you can hop into a GC practice like whatever matchups may be, or just look through the Clash Royale YouTube channel and watch some players, because these decks have been around for a long time. Like obviously there's going to be some variations, but you can see how these players think out and how the outcome of the match is always going to be like an adaptation to like the matchup. So
Okay.
honestly, watching pro players play would be my recommendation if you don't have anybody to practice with. If you do, you can be like, hey man, can you try playing this matchup? I'm gonna play this deck, and you just see what works best, start like being able to beat it and just practicing it. But
Sure.
if not, then I just recommend watching pro players.
What is your favorite of the 2 decks that we saw Jupiter King play today?
In my opinion, I wouldn't play that minor Ice Golem Prince. I don't exactly fancy it, mostly because the Ice Golem. Like I would play a minor Prince cycle, but
Okay.
I've played that Hogs Magic Archer Mini P.E.K.K.A before, so I do fancy it. I really like because they just have such a good and strong defense. Like I said, because the Hunter and the Mini P.E.K.K.A are 2 glass cannons that just destroy. Like every time he could defend a Ram Rider perfectly with a Hunter or
We
a
saw
Mini
that,
P.E.K.K.A.
yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's the deck that I'm going to try too out of the 2 decks. So I'll let you know how it goes. And Minnie, thank you so much for coming on. I want to ask my audience before I let you guys go, if you have any player that you want us to dissect next week, let us know. We'll take your suggestions. Otherwise, we'll come up with one on our own. But Minnie, just want to thank you again for coming back on the channel. I'm excited about this new series. And yeah, you have your YouTube channel. Now you have a bunch of subscribers, but no videos, right? You going to ever make a video or what?
I'm gonna have to get to it. I mean, I like being here and presenting content. I just have to push myself to it.
Just
I don't
gotta
know.
do it, man. Just gotta do it. Well, like we said last time and the time before, we're here if you have any questions for us. Looking forward to that. Well, we will have your YouTube channel with no videos linked for my subscribers to check out in the show notes below, along with your player stats and profile. And you've been killing it yourself in No Tilt League, right?
Yeah, you can say that. Yeah.
You've been doing well, man. You've been playing well as always, right?
Yeah, SSG is currently first in Group A. Me and Boss have been. I mean, I can't say we've been the main, because our whole team like adds such depth and like a different like value of strength to the table. So I just love our team because there's no like weak player. Like we can all go there and we can all sweep. So I just like it, and that's just like a little piece of information. If you guys want to check it out, watch No Tilt. We play every Tuesday and Thursday. Playoffs are going to start next week, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So you guys can just follow No Tilt on Twitter and check that out if you would like.
Heck yeah, man. I'll have your I'll have No Tilt there. I'll have Clash Royale Esports where you can watch the CRL guys, and I'll have Mini's information, and I'll even link Space Station Royale's Twitter so you can follow that team as well on their Twitter account. So guys, Mini, thanks again, man. Appreciate it.
My pleasure, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, guys, that's going to do it. Let me know what you think of the series. Any different ideas that you want to see? We could play the decks at the end of the video. We could cover more matches, more info, less info, whatever you guys want. Let us know. Don't mind Mini on the side of me dancing through the outro. But that's going to do it for the video, guys. Huge shout out to Clash Royale and to Bren Chong, my YouTube partners. Check out their information as well. Thank you for watching, and as always, take care, guys.